Namaste. My name is Rohil and today I'm going to be taking you through a core and shoulder strengthening sequence. So we're going to begin by just sitting up tall. So if you tend to hunch your lower back, I would suggest you to sit on a block or something to give you a bit of height. And from here you're going to just coming into a twist. So placing your right hand on the left knee, the left hand behind you. Every inhale, lengthening the spine. Every exhale, twisting. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Last time, inhale to lengthen. And exhaling, twisting. Coming back to center. Placing the left hand on the right knee, right hand behind you. Every inhale, lengthening the spine. Every exhale, twisting. Long deep breaths throughout. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. And we're going to come back to center. It's very important to stretch out our internal obliques before we do any kind of strengthening, especially for the core. So for that, we're going to place our left hand beside us and bringing our right hand up overhead. As you do this, you can place your left elbow all the way down to the mat, but make sure that your right butt is not lifting off the ground. So the right butt is firmly pressed down as you bring the hand up. You can look straight forward or you can gaze up at the palms. Last 3 breaths here. And slowly making your way back to center, placing the opposite hand, your right hand on the mat, bringing the left hand up overhead. Here once again you can bring your right elbow all the way down without bringing the left butt up. So keep grounding the left butt up. Long deep breaths. You can gaze straight forward. And last inhale and exhale, coming back to center. From here we're going to bring our legs forward. So the legs are going to come straight in front. You can have your feet at about hip width apart. So your feet are hip width apart from each other. Here we're just going to do something that's really good for the core and really good to warm up because it uses all the muscles, all the different muscle groups in our core and upper body. So we're going to interlock our fingers and we're going to start to move forward. You can slightly bend the knees, no problem. So starting to move forward. If you can go past your legs, great. If you can only reach here also, that's completely fine. So as far as you can reach, and then as you inhale, bringing the hands up, and then you're going to come back down all the way. So you're going to try and come onto your, so you're not going to rest your back. You're not going to rest your back down. You're just going to come until your lower back is almost on the mat without touching, and then back up again. So you're going to make this into a fluid movement. Inhaling as you open the chest, exhaling as you collapse the chest. Last time, inhale as you open, exhale as you collapse. And now we're going to go in the opposite direction. So here we've been going from down to up. Now we start from up to down. Exhaling as you collapse the chest. Going back, not touching your back down, your back is hovering. Inhale as you open the chest. Last 2 times. Good job. From here, you're going to open the legs wide apart. So you're going to try and bring the legs as wide apart as possible. Again, it doesn't need to be spread as wide as I'm doing it here. It can be a lot lesser, no problem. From here, once again, you're going to interlock the fingers, going over to your left side. Again, doesn't matter how far you can go, even if you can reach just here, it's good enough. So from your right foot, cycling around to the left and then coming back along the feet, ideally trying to go back slightly and then once again forward. Long deep breaths. Every time you collapse the chest, you're going to exhale, and every time you open the chest, you're going to inhale. So from here, we're going to switch it up a bit. So we're just going to go back and forth from one leg to the next. As you do this, try to keep your legs engaged. So your thighs engaged, your knees pushing down into the mat. Also, your toes are pointing up to the ceiling, not falling over to the sides. Last 5 times to touch each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Now you're going to bring the block or your water bottle, whatever you have handy, and you're going to place it on the inside of your right thigh. From here, you're going to bring your hands, your palms on either side of the right thigh, and you're going to bring the right leg up over the brick and down again. Up, over the brick and down again. Again, if this is really hard for you, you can take the shorter side of the brick. So you can just take it slightly and go back and forth. If that is too difficult for you, you can put the brick aside and just lift the leg up and down, up and down. Why we do this is to strengthen the pelvic floor muscles that are crucial for any strength training program. Of course, if you're finding yourself comfortable here, you can move the block further away from the leg. So about a 1 foot gap between the block and the foot and the leg, and just move the leg front and back. Last 3 times. And now we're going to switch the block to the other side, bringing the block on the inside of the left leg, placing your palms on either side of the left thigh, and once again trying to lift the leg up and down. It can just be hovering in the same place if you can't lift above the block. You can also feel free to use the shorter side of the block. Again, if this is easy for you, you can also take a longer distance and move the leg further. Last 3. You should really be feeling this on the inner thighs, a part that is often neglected in a lot of exercise routines. And once you're done, you can bring the legs once again together. So your feet are together. And now we're going to do a little bit of strengthening to warm up our quadricep muscles. So we're going to curve our back. So contrary to straightening the back constantly, here we're going to slightly curve the back. We are curving the back so that we can access the muscles below the navel. You're going to place your hands in front of the knees if possible. And in the beginning, you can even come on to the tips of your fingers, no problem. We're just going to lift the right leg up into the air. So I don't want to do this as I lift the right leg up, but I want to stay forward. So I want to be curving the back, staying forward so that I really engage the muscles below the navel. Staying here for another 4 breaths. 3, 2, and 1, slowly releasing back down. Now the other side, lifting the left leg up, once again keeping your back curved, not going backwards, staying forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, slowly releasing back down. From here we're going to go to lying down completely on our back, just to warm up the core muscles. You're going to have your hands palms down on the mat, lifting both legs up. From here you're going to just bring your right leg down, so the left leg is up, heel is pointing to the ceiling, and the right leg comes slightly down. Again, if you're finding it hard and you feel pain in your lower back, you can place your palms underneath the butt. So the palms go underneath the butt, giving support to your lower back. Otherwise, you can have the hands resting by the side. So we're going to stay here in this position with the right leg hovering slightly above the ground, left foot, heel pointing up to the ceiling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, bringing the right leg up, bringing the left leg down this time, hovering slightly above the ground. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bringing the left leg back up. Here, if you need to rest, you can always bend the legs, hugging the knees into the chest. Otherwise, we're going to continue. And from here, we're going to make small circles with the legs. So you're going to use the legs to make small circles, so that we start to use the muscles on the side of our body a bit more. Last 2 rotations on this side. And now we're going to go the opposite direction, making circles in the opposite direction. Keeping your breath long and deep. Trying to go just a little bit more than you think you're capable of. We don't know how much power we have until we give it our all. And then coming back to center, bending the knees, hugging the knees into the chest. Taking a few long deep breaths here. And from here we're going to start to rock on our back, rocking back and forth until we can come up all the way to seated. And we're going to come onto our hands and knees. So making sure that your shoulders are above the wrist, hip is above the knee. With every inhale, you're going to bring your chin up to the ceiling. With every exhale, chin to chest, rounding the back. Inhale, gazing up to the ceiling. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the back. Inhale up. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the back. Inhale up. Exhale, chin to chest, rounding the back. And from here, we're going to come on the next inhale back to a neutral spine. And then we're going to lift our right hand up into the air. So our right hand goes straight in front. And at the same time, you're going to lift your left leg up into the air. Again, if you find it really hard to balance, to stay centered here, you can just try with keeping your right hand down on the mat. So just the left leg goes up. You can try this first, and then slowly, as you build strength, you can then try to also lift the right hand. So right hand and left leg. Staying here, not gazing too far up, neither bringing chin to chest, so the head is neutral. For the last 3, 2, and 1. Coming back to center. And we're going to switch over to the other side. So bringing the right leg up first. So the right leg goes up first. If you feel confident here, then you can bring the left hand up. Otherwise, you can keep the left hand where it is. Breathing long, deep breaths. For the last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Placing the left hand down, placing the right knee down. If you feel tired at any point, I would invite you to come into a child's pose where you can open the knees wide and coming down all the way, placing your forehead down and the hands outstretched, just to catch your breath and relax. Whenever you need to just come down into a child's pose, you don't have to follow along at the pace that I'm going at. So coming back onto the hands and knees, from here what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and come onto our toes. So we are untucking our toes and just lifting the knees up slightly. So this is really good to get that rounding in the upper back and sort of a strong core and strong upper back. So we're just lifting the knees off the ground slightly. We're not going into this position. We are staying down here with the knees just lifted. So only our toes and our palms are on the mat. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3. Keep pushing the ground away from you with your hands. Don't slump in this way. Keep pushing away. 2, and 1. Slowly releasing back down. From here, we're going to push the butt up all the way, coming into a downward facing dog. Trying to bring the heels down. Breathing for the last 3 breaths. 2, and 1. Inhale, bringing your left leg up into the air, straight leg. And exhale, bringing the knee to the nose. Breathing here, 1. Inhale. And exhale, placing the leg in between the hands. From here, if you can, you're trying to keep the right leg straight, right knee straight. And if you can, you're going to try and lift the hands up. Lifting the hands up, interlocking the hands behind you, and starting to try and bring the wrists up slightly into the air. Breathing 3, 2, and 1. Placing the hands down once again. Here you can bring your right knee to the mat. And from here we're going to slowly try and straighten the left leg, bringing the left toes up. So you don't have to straighten all the way, as much as possible. No need to push yourself. Last 3 breaths. 2, and 1. Bending your left leg, your front leg. Placing the hands on either side. And we're going to come into our first full plank. So bringing the left leg back, keeping your feet hip width apart, keeping your shoulders above the wrist, tucking the pelvis, core engaged, breathing here for 3 breaths. 1, 2, and 3. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Please feel free to take a child's pose whenever you're tired. Long deep breaths here for the last 3, 2, and 1. This time bringing the right leg up into the air. Exhale, bringing the right knee to the nose. Taking an inhale here. And exhale, placing the right foot in between the palms. Keeping the right knee bent, so your right knee is directly above your right ankle. Keeping the left leg straight and strong. From here, if it's accessible to you, you can either just stay in this position or you can lift the hands up slightly. Staying for 3, 2, and 1. Placing the hands back down. You can bring your left knee down to the mat. And once again, trying to straighten the right leg. Feeling the stretch in your right hamstring. Again, the right knee can be bent, no problem. You don't have to keep it completely straight. Last breath. And bending the right leg. Bringing the right leg all the way back. And we're going to come into another plank for 3 breaths. 2, and 1. From here, if accessible to you, coming into a low plank, or you can bring the knees down and coming into a low plank until you're all the way with your chest on the mat. Keeping your hands by the ribs. First, you're going to lift your head up. So you're lifting your head up to gaze forward. Lifting the chest up slightly. And from here, if it's accessible to you, you're going to try and lift the palms off the mat. Palms off the mat, staying here for 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, going down all the way, placing the crown of the head, the forehead on the mat. And once again on the next inhale, lifting the chest up, the head up, bringing the palms up. If it's accessible to you, you can also interlock your fingers at the back, trying to lift the chest up even more for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing all the way down. And we're going to press up into the hands, coming onto our knees and pushing back into a child's pose, taking a well-deserved break. Trying to tune into your breath. Oftentimes, we don't find our power and our strength because we don't look for it. We never challenge ourselves. We never step out and take that first step. Strength is a practice, not a goal. Once you're done, slowly releasing, coming back up. So we're just going to do a slight flow, which is really good for building that upper body strength. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start in a plank. We're going to shift the legs to the side, coming into a single handed, so it's sort of a one hand plank. Coming back into plank, shifting to the other side, bringing the other hand up, coming down, placing our knees down, and then lifting back the other side. So I'm not going to ask you to stack your feet over the feet. You can keep the feet as they are. If this is super hard for you to go into a plank on one hand, what you're going to do is you're going to lift up and you're going to drop your bottom. So in this case, my right knee drops down as I bring the hand up. The same way as I bring my shift to the other side, I'm going to drop my left knee down, bringing the hand up. So we're going to do 5 rounds on each side of the one hand plank. So coming into a plank, dropping, lifting the hand up, coming back, dropping, lifting the other hand up, coming back to a plank. You can drop onto your knees, go into a child's pose whenever you need to. Dropping onto the right side, right hand down, left hand up. Once again, coming into a plank, dropping onto the left side, left hand up. Last time each side, dropping onto the right hand, left hand up. Dropping onto the left hand, right hand up. And coming back into a plank, and if possible, pushing all the way back into a downward facing dog or a child's pose, if you please. From here, you're going to bring your right knee in between the hands. So the right knee comes in between the hands. You're coming into a pigeon position. You can stay upright or you can start to fold forward. And then on the next inhale, coming back up and pushing back into a downward facing dog. Bringing your left knee forward in between the hands, right knee down. Again, you can stay upright. You don't have to go down all the way. If you're comfortable here, you can begin to start going down slightly. Pushing into the hands, bringing the left leg back. Here you can come down into a low plank or bring the knees down. And then pushing up into upward facing dog. Your thighs are engaged, knees are off the mat. And exhale, pushing into downward facing dog. Trying to bring your chest to your thighs for 3, 2, and 1. Coming down onto your knees. Just sitting upright for a moment. And from here, we're going to go to lie down all the way on our back. So we are going to lie down on our back and begin the cool down sequence. From here, you're going to bring your right leg up and cross it over the left. So your right leg crosses over the left leg, and from here you can start to let the legs fall out to your left side. So the legs begin to fall over to the left. You can have your hand to support, and you're bringing your right hand to the other side, trying to place your right shoulder down, gazing towards your right side. This is a simple twist that we can easily stay for a couple of minutes every day, that gives us a lot of release in our lower back, also helps to strengthen and tone all the muscles in this entire stomach region. So if you want a flat belly, twists are really good for you. Staying here with your breath, long deep breaths. Tuning into your body, noticing how you feel at this moment. Do you feel tired, fatigued, or energized, awake? A routine like this is so easy to do, it's so easy to make time for, and it leaves us feeling energized throughout the day. From here, we're going to slowly come back to center, and this time we're going to cross our left leg around the right, and then allowing our legs to fall over to the right side. Legs to fall over to the right side, and then placing the right hand by the side, if possible trying to bring your left shoulder down, looking over to your left palm. Long deep breaths. Last 3 breaths. Slowly making your way back to center, and we're going to finish with the last pose for today. So here we're going to bring our feet as close to the butt as possible. If it's possible for you, you're going to try and hold or touch the feet with your fingertips. You can either hold onto the ankles, inhale, pushing the butt up, or you can try and bring your palms together, interlocking the fingers and lifting up. As you do so, try to make sure the knees are not opening out to the sides. In this way, you're trying to bring the knees closer together, pushing the hip up Breathing here for the last 5 breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing, coming down all the way. From here you can roll over to one side, to your right side, and pressing to come up all the way. Coming into a upright seated position. You can close your eyes. Just noticing how you feel in this moment, how different you feel as compared to when you began this practice. And I want you to set an intention for the rest of the day or for the rest of the week, if you please, to bring this strength and peace and calm into every situation of your life. To look at life from this perspective of groundedness, of power. We'll end with 3 long deep breaths, inhaling into the belly, chest, throat, exhaling out of the throat, chest, belly, inhaling into the belly, expanding the belly, the chest, the throat, exhale out of the throat, chest, belly, contracting the belly. Last breath, inhaling into the belly, chest, throat, exhaling from the throat, chest, and belly. You can rub your palms, creating some heat, some friction between your palms, and then placing your warm hands on your eyes and the rest of your head. You can give your forehead, eyes, face a small massage. Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself and your own health, and for joining me today. Namaste.